Hey, I'm Sven Masterson, one of the co-founders and mentors in the Mentoring Men community. And in this video, I want to talk to you about changing perspective about fear. Now, I'm on my 25-acre homestead here in central Pennsylvania. I've lived here for about 10 years. And when I first moved here, I'll admit I mowed and did my chore work with a 9mm at my side filled with snake shot because I had this really unnatural fear of snakes. And 10 years later, I don't do that anymore. I kind of came to the conclusion, that's really silly to be this kind of fear of snakes. And so now I see snakes all the time and I have a different relationship to them now. And I just saw one. Man, they hide so well, it's hard to see them. And I'm going to show it to you here, okay? Maybe we'll even pick him up. I don't know if you could see that. There he is. That's a garter snake, and he's really frightened of me. You see his little head poking out there. Now, in my ignorance, in the past, I was afraid of these. And what I've really learned, I've learned a lot about fear in general, that the natural response we have, these fearful responses, are learned in our childhood and our upbringing, and they happen subconsciously and very quickly, and we tend to believe them as though they're true. But one of the things you can do with fear is you can learn to stop and question the response you have about something. And this is how I kind of overcame the fear of snakes. For one, being exposed to them a lot. I have a lot of snakes on my property. Now, I'm telling you that I don't want you to be discouraged if we ever get to know each other and you end up coming here. It's not like a epidemic of snakes. It's part of life in the country. And I've learned not to be bothered by them and actually to appreciate the role they play in keeping, other critters down that I don't want around, like mice and rats and things like that. But I've had to learn over time to stop when I felt that fearful response, to acknowledge I was having it in my body, and to realize, is there any really truth to this? Is this a reliable way to think? Now, a lot of times we feel like, or we're under the belief that our responses in our body are instinct. But we actually know now from research that that's not true. Our emotional responses to things are learned. They're conceptually learned as we grow, and they're malleable, they're changeable. You can learn to change how you respond to fearful things, not just by exposure, but by stopping and asking yourself some questions. This snake, if I can find it again, is probably like 18 inches long. I'm like a 200-pound man, and this snake also is a non-venomous snake. It poses really no threat to me. In the event it could somehow even bite me, I could possibly, real long shot, get some sort of infection that I probably would need maybe bacitracin for, right? I mean, it would be like more than a lightning strike possibility of this snake actually hurting me, right? It's not a predator of humans. It's not interested in me. It doesn't want to hurt me. It's just out actually eating bugs and frogs and little critters, and it is terrified of me. And for good reason, because I pose a pretty big risk to this snake, whereas this snake doesn't pose any risk to me. Yet somewhere along the line in my life, I have learned to be afraid of this thing, this little tiny thing. He's poking his head out down here. I can see him now. We'll see if we can shut up here a second and see him. You see his head down here. His head is right there. There's a little sneaky friend. And he is just like, hey, when is this dude gonna shut up and go away? Right? Now, I still sometimes experience fear, like if I went to grab him right now and he lashed out at me, he'd open his mouth and he'd kind of like play strike. I still have instinct responses I have not yet overcome, but the reality is this snake is not going to hurt me. And I can stand here now and no longer be afraid of this, whereas years ago I felt like I had to carry a pistol around because of encountering snakes. Now, why am I telling you this on a channel about mentoring guys and men? Like, what does this have to do with being a man in relationships? Well, we have the same kind of responses in relationships sometimes. Maybe for a lot of men, it's when a woman is angry with them, when a woman comes into a room and she clearly looks upset. And oftentimes what we're experiencing is the same kind of learned response, the same kind of fearful, emotional response that our brains learned along our journeys, but in reality pose no threat. In fact, and just like in this scenario right now, oftentimes we're probably a larger threat to the other person than they are to us. This is definitely true in masculine, feminine dynamics. And yet a lot of men, myself included, along our journeys, we learn to respond to the nature of the feminine, a woman who's just being a woman, as though she is a venomous snake, as though she could hurt us, as though she could end our life or change something. And what we're really experiencing in that moment is just our stories. We're experiencing a past where our brains kind of mapped out some connection between this and that and concluded, hey, you better not touch snakes. Hey, you better not be near an angry woman. And so we can oftentimes flee. We can learn unhelpful behaviors like getting upset, unhelpful behaviors like feeling insecure and unsafe, but we're just feeling our thinking. And we're feeling years and years and years of thinking. And all of that, like this idea with this snake, can be reframed. We can learn to be a completely different way with and around a female, with a woman in our life, just like we can be a different way with snakes. And I was hoping he'd come out here so I could grab him and pick him up and show you him, because I would have never done that years ago. But now I'm fairly comfortable doing that. But he's too fast. He just slid under the barn. So I hope you're understanding this. I hope that if you struggle with the fear of things in your life that feels like it might be unreasonable, or if you wonder, hey, is this unreasonable? I want to encourage you to reach out. We help men to really reprogram the mind, specifically in the areas of fear and anxiety, shame, insecurity. We help men understand why they have these kind of unreasonable fears and how to slowly and deliberately and rationally to kind of reprogram the way they think and respond in these moments. It's not a quick process. It takes most men between 6 and 24 months to kind of work through some of their fear, to understand why they have it, and then to kind of rewrite the stories they have around what they're afraid of and what it means. But it's successful. It works. It changes things. It makes it so they can walk up to what felt like a slithering, venomous reptile and instead pick it up and play with it. And if you'd like to know more about how to do that, I invite you to reach out. There's going to be a link below this video. You can schedule a call with myself or one of the other mentors on Mentoring Men. Or if you just want to go right into the community, check that out. You'll see a sign-up link below. You can go there, explore some of our free or included resources in there, and get to know us a little bit. And we're eager to show you how to do this thing, how to be more resilient as a man, how to engage other people and things that used to be fearful experiences with confidence, with deliberation, with calmness, and with feeling grounded. And with that, I'll let you go and have a good day. Take care.